number are the same, that is I is equal to j. Now for the diagonal below the main diagonal, I is equal to j plus 1. How? Suppose I have a 4 cross 4 matrix like this. If I write the subscripts here, this is my diagonal elements. These are my diagonal elements. The subscripts are 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 and 4, 4. The subscript here is 2, 1. Here it is 3, 2 and here it is 4, 3. So this is my lower diagonal, the diagonal below the principal diagonal. So we can see that the relationship between I and j is I is always equal to j plus 1. Like 2 equal to 1 plus 1, 3 equal to 2 plus 1, 4 equal to 3 plus 1. Similarly, for the upper diagonal, the diagonal above the main diagonal, it is I is equal to j minus 1. I will always be 1 less than j. For example, here it is going to be 1, 2. This will be 2, 3. This will be 3, 4. So all the 3 elements will satisfy this condition I equal to j minus 1. So always remember, children, in your minds, for the principal diagonal, I equal to j. For the diagonal below the main diagonal, I equal to j plus 1. And for diagonal above the main diagonal, it is I equal to j minus 1. Then I also discussed the 3 types of mapping with you. Okay, 3 types of mapping. The mapping can be either row-wise, where we pick up the first row, the second row, the third row, the fourth row, but we pick up only the tri-diagonal elements and transfer them or store them into a 1D array. The second type of mapping was column-wise. That is, we pick up 1, 1, 2, 1 first, then we pick up 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, and so on, and transfer them to a 1D array. The third type of mapping is by diagonals, diagonal-wise. So first we store the lower diagonal element 2, 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, then 1, 1, 2, 2, and so on, and then the upper diagonal elements. So children, in your textbook, they are following the mapping that is diagonal wise. Okay, they are transferring the elements of the matrix, the tri-diagonal matrix, into a 1D array diagonal wise. Then in the last lecture, we also discussed how the total number of elements in a tri-diagonal matrix is 3 into rows or 3 into n minus 2, where we have an n cross n matrix. Clear? How, children? The diagonal element has n elements. The diagonal has n elements. The lower diagonal has n minus 1 because the first row is not contributing anything to the lower diagonal. Then the upper diagonal also has n minus 1. So that makes 3n minus 2 elements. So the size of our 1D array that we would be requiring for storing the elements of a tri-diagonal matrix is 3n minus 2. I hope, children, this much was clear to everyone. Can I move to the implementation part? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, now coming to the implementation part, the first member function that we have is get and store. Now children, try to understand, when we are implementing the diagonal matrix, the tri-diagonal matrix, the upper triangular, lower triangular, symmetric matrix, ये 5 type of special matrices हैं हमारे syllabus में. 5 types of special matrices. Okay. Now for all these 5 matrices, the class that we have to create is going to be the same, more or less the same. The constructor and the destructors are also going to be the same. So for the first matrix, that is the diagonal matrix, in your textbook also the entire thing is shown. The class, the constructors, the destructors. Remember, the copy constructor was also there. But starting from the next matrix, that is the tri-diagonal matrix, जो different part है, जो member functions ही सिर्फ different है, get and store, उन्होंने वही दिखाया है. Clear? Now coming to the get member function, the name of the class is tri-diagonal matrix, okay, and the return type is T. Now T is the placeholder for the template, and usually we give the replacement for capital T as integer for the sake of simplicity. So the return type for this member function is an integer value. Okay, नाम से भी पता लग रहा है, it is the get member function. That is, it is going to get I comma jth, it is going to read I comma jth element of the matrix, which is going to be an integer, and return it. Now, after that, first of all, we have to validate that the index numbers I and j, sorry, not the index numbers, we use the word subscript numbers. For the arrays, we use index numbers, but for the matrix, we usually call them as subscript numbers. So first, we need to verify whether the subscript numbers I and j that the user has passed are correct or not. So, क्या लिखेंगे? If I is less than 1, j is less than 1, or I is greater than n, j is greater than n, then throw matrix index out of bounds. Okay. The row numbers for the matrix are going to vary from 1 to n, and similarly column numbers 1 to n. If we are talking of a matrix, since matrix is a mathematical concept, we usually start our indexing from 1. Then next is, if condition becomes true, children, then control will go to the compiler because you are throwing an exception. But if the if condition is false, this throw statement will not be executed and your control will come here to the switch case. Switch I minus j. Now children, we have to subtract I and j so as to find out जो user get करना चाहता है एलिमेंट, वो डायगोनल मैट्रिक्स का एलिमेंट है, लोअर डायगोनल का या अपर डायगोनल का. Now, if you look carefully, for the diagonal element I and j are equal, we know. That is why I minus j कितना हो जाएगा? 0 for diagonal matrix. Now, for the lower diagonal, we have seen it is I equal to j plus 1. So, what will be I minus j? If I take j towards LHS, it is going to be I minus j is going to be 1 for the lower diagonal. Okay. And we know I plus I equal to j minus 1 for the lower diagonal. So it is going to be I minus j is going to be minus 1 for the lower diagonal. So I minus j equal to minus 1, sorry, for the upper diagonal. Clear? Now coming back to the switch block, we see case 1. Here what is 1? 1 is I minus j, because हमने जो switch variable है वो I या j नहीं, I minus j बनाया. Okay, so if it is case 1, you can see here the user is asking for a lower diagonal element. So what are you going to return? Return element of I minus 2. I'll just explain how do we get this I minus 2. Similarly, if I minus j is 0, that means you are asking or trying to retrieve a main diagonal element. And if it is minus 1, you are trying to retrieve upper diagonal element. Default meaning, if I minus j is anything apart from 1, 0 or minus 1, that is the user is trying to get non-tridiagonal element. And in a tridiagonal matrix, the non-tridiagonal elements are compulsorily 0. So in that case, we are going to return 0. Clear? Now the question that remains unanswered is only how do we write return element I minus 2 or n plus I minus 2 or 2 into n plus I minus 2. Yes, can anyone try answering this question? Yes. Anyone try answering this question? What are the subscript numbers? 1, 1, 2, 2, then 3, 3, 4, 4. For the lower diagonal, they are 2, 1, then 3, 2, 4, 3. The upper diagonal are 1, 2, 2, 3, and then 3, 4. Yes, mapping is diagonal wise. Anyone? How do we get this value? See children, if I have to transfer the contents to a 1D array, सबसे पहले what will be the size of 1D array? Yes? What will be the size of 1D array, children? For storing tridiagonal elements?
3n minus 2.
Very good. 3n minus 2. So n in my example is 4. So it is going to be 12, right? 4 3 is 12 minus 10. So it's going to be 10, right? So the size of the 1D array is going to be 10. So I have to mark 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. This is my 1D array where I'm storing diagonal wise. Now suppose the elements of my 4 cross 4 array are, I have 45 here, then I have 65, 75, 85. Lower diagonal may I have 15, 25, 35. Here I have say 95, then 2 and 3. So how am I going to store? First the lower diagonal elements. That is 15 here, 25 here, 35 here, then 45, 65, 75 and 85, followed by that upper diagonal 95, 2 and 3. I hope this mapping by diagonal is clear to everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now children, look at the index numbers of the lower diagonal elements. Here I have marked. सबसे पहले lower diagonal में, look at this upper picture, it is 2, 1. सबसे पहले lower diagonal का uppermost element store होता है in 1D array. The subscript numbers for that are 2, 1. So I is 2. Then for the lower diagonal element, next element of the lower diagonal, the subscript is 3, 2. And next element के जो subscript है वो 4, 3 है. So you see I is increasing. First it is 2, then it is 3 and then it is 4. But M of 2, 1s will be stored in ARR of 0. So what do I have to write? I have to write return element of I minus 2. That is 2 minus 2, 0. Similarly, जो 3 M of 3, 2 है, that will be stored in 3 minus 2. That is 1. ARR of 3 minus 2. Similarly, M of 4, 3 will be stored in ARR of I minus 2. So that is why the index number of the 1D array for the lower diagonal element is I minus 2. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, after that, look at the main diagonal subscripts. Main diagonal subscripts क्या होते हैं? 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. So simply we can say for the main diagonal, the subscripts or the row number particularly is varying from 1 to n. But already we have stored n minus 1 elements of the lower diagonal. Okay? So n minus 1 are already stored. N minus 1 are already stored in 0 to n minus 2 index numbers because array was starting from 0. Clear? So 0 to n minus 2 elements are all index numbers are already occupied. Now I have to store the next element which is m of 1, 1. What will be its index number? Yes, anyone? What will be its index number? Yes. Simply n minus 2 index numbers are already occupied plus 1. Yes or no? Like my ARR of 0, ARR of 1 and ARR of 2 are already occupied. So where will m of 1, 1 be stored? At index number 3. How do I get that? N minus 2 elements, n minus 2 index numbers are already occupied. So I will add 1 to this. Okay. How do I store m of 2, 2 next? I have to add 2 to n minus 2. But what is this adding 1, 2, 3? This is nothing, just the row number of the main diagonal elements. That is why we write here return element of n plus I minus 2. Okay. Similarly, children, for the upper diagonal also, you can get the correct index number as 2 into n plus I minus 2. How will you get that? You will see that already n minus 1 for the lower diagonal and n positions for the main diagonal are already occupied. That is n minus 1 plus n cells are already occupied. This is 2n minus 1 cells are already occupied. But 2n minus 1 cells, when they are occupied, the indexing must be varying from 0 to 2n minus 2. Now, if I have to store the next one, I have to add 1 to that to get its correct index number. That is why you see 2n minus 2 plus I. Because for the upper diagonal, the rows are varying from 1, 2 and 3. I hope, children, this is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is how we implement the get method in tridiagonal matrix. Now, children, if it is the store member function in tridiagonal, it will also be on the same lines. उसमें जो आप index numbers एक बारी आप calculate कर लेंगे ना 1D array के, तो store में क्या है? Return element of I minus 2 की जगह आप लिखेंगे उस particular जो m of I comma j is equal to element of I minus 2 इस प्रकार से, because store में you have to save it there. I hope, children, you have understood how to calculate the index numbers of the 1D array. Yes or no?
No.
Okay. Now next is coming to triangular matrices. Now, children, triangular matrices are of two types, the lower triangular and the upper triangular. Last lecture, I've shown you the examples, the picture examples. I'll show you again so that you can recall. See, this is the lower triangular matrix. How do we mark the lower triangular matrix? We mark the principal diagonal, okay, and then draw a triangle. So lower triangular, as the name implies, will consist of the principal diagonal and all elements below it. Similarly, upper triangular matrix will consist of the main diagonal and all elements above it. Now, lower triangular जब हम बोलते हैं, इसका मतलब होता है the lower triangular elements could be either 0 or non-zero, but all elements apart from lower triangular part are going to be mandatorily 0. Correct? Similarly, for the upper triangular matrix, all elements of the upper triangular part can be 0 or non-zero, but anything apart from the upper triangular part is going to be mandatorily 0. I hope this is clear, children.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I am proceeding with the details of the triangular matrix. Now, first of all, how many elements are there in the non-zero region? Now, children, when we say the non-zero region, we have to be very clear in our minds. Theoretically, we write the non-zero region, but this non-zero region jo hai na, upper triangular region or the lower triangular region, whatever we are talking of, okay? These elements could be 0 or non-zero. इस पार्ट पे जबकि हम इसको बोलते नॉन जीरो रीजन है, बट देयर इज नो स्ट्रिक्ट कंडीशन. Okay, the elements of lower triangular or upper triangular region could be 0 or non-zero, but anything apart from these non-zero region has to be compulsorily 0. So they are calculating the total number of elements in the non-zero region. If you look at any lower or upper triangular matrix, see, this is my principal diagonal. So the upper triangular matrix is this. How many elements are there in the first row? Same as the dimensions of the matrix. If the matrix is n cross n, I told you this also, that for all the 5 special matrices, we are considering square matrices. So the number of rows and columns is going to be the same. So the number of elements in the first row is going to be n, because the first row contributes all n elements in the upper triangular region. Second row will contribute n minus 1 elements to the non-zero region. third row n minus 2, and so on. The last row will contribute just 1. So this is nothing but the sum of first n natural numbers, which we already know is it is equal to summation I, where I varies from 1 to n. It is nothing. We have to apply this simple formula. For sum of first n natural numbers, it is n into n plus 1 by 2. Similarly, lower triangular matrix may be n into n plus 1 by 2 elements होते हैं नॉन जीरो रीजन में. ठीक है, तो अगर हम डायगोनल मैट्रिक्स की बात करें, उसमें नॉन जीरो रीजन में कितने एलिमेंट्स होते हैं? यस एनीवन? यस चिल्ड्रन, हाउ मेनी एलिमेंट्स
होते हैं?
वेरी गुड. डायगोनल मैट्रिक्स में, बिकॉज एवरी रो इज कंट्रीब्यूटिंग 1 एलिमेंट to the non-zero region. Okay, so n elements, tri-diagonal matrix mein we just computed, it is 3n minus 2, and in the lower triangular region matrix or the upper triangular matrix, we have seen it is n into n plus 1 by 2 elements. Clear? Now, just like we have represented all special matrices using 1D arrays so as to conserve space and also make our functions, our member functions more efficient, that is decrease their running time. Similarly, children, it's written here also, both kinds of triangular matrices may be represented by using a one-dimensional array of size n into n plus 1 by 2. But 1D array is a programming concept, so the index numbers will start varying from 0 and the last index number will be n into n plus 1 by 2 minus 1. Clear? The total number of elements is this, but the index numbers will vary from 0 to this value. Now, consider a lower triangular matrix L mapped into a 1D array by the name element. Again, children, there are different types of mappings possible, and here we talk of two possible mappings. Correct? The first mapping is by rows and the second is by columns. Okay? Rows meaning we do it row wise. We pick up the elements row wise and transfer them to 1D array. Column mapping by columns क्या होगा? We pick up the elements column wise and transfer them to the 1D array. So they are taking example of figure 7.8C. So that example was lower triangular अगर हम लें. So that example was, if I'm not mistaken, 2 0 0 0 5 1 0 0, then 0 3 1 0 and 4 2 7 0. So if we do the mapping row wise, okay, row wise क्या होगा? पहले we are going to store 2, then 5 and 1, then 0 3 1. You can see 2 5, then 2 5. Yes, 2 5, after that 1, then 0 3 1, and then you pick up the last row 4 2 7 0. If we do the mapping column wise, so first of all it will be 2 5 0 4, you can see it in the picture, then 1 3 2, and then 1 7, और last column में सिर्फ एक ही element है ये वाला, which is 0. I hope this is clear to everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now next we have to see the relationship between the row number and the column number.
Yes.
In these two, yes, what are you saying? Did you say anything, beta? मैम की वॉइस ब्रेक हो रही है ना. Children, are you able to hear me clearly?
Yes, no, ma'am.
How many of you
Yes,
are not
ma'am.
able to? Most of the girls are able to hear me. So if that is not
Yes,
the case,
ma'am.
probably some issue with your network today. Mine is working fine. So I am continuing. Okay. Now the next thing that we have to see is what is the relationship between I and J, I versus J, for the two types of triangular matrices. Okay, I and J means the relationship between the row number and the column number in the matrices subscript. Okay, now if the name of my matrix is capital L, lower triangular matrix का नाम L है, ठीक है? So if I is less than J, the element is in the zero region. Why in the zero region? You see, zero region के लिए what are the subscripts? It is 1, 3. This is 1, 4. This is 1. This is 2, 4. Then I have not marked all. Lower triangular region मैंने थोड़ा सा, yes, ठीक ही है ये. No, इसमें ये वाला पार्ट आना था. This zero will be outside. So इसका सबस्क्रिप्ट होगा 3, 4 and इस लास्ट वाले का जो है इधर एक और होगा. इनफैक्ट ये इधर थोड़ा सा गलत मार्क करा है चिल्ड्रन. यू डोंट सी ऑल्सो. This is going to be 1, 2. Okay, so we can see that I is always less than J for the zero region. If I is greater than equal to J, by equal to, when are I and J equal? For the diagonal elements. So I is greater than equal to J when the element is in the non-zero region. This you have to remember, children. I is greater than equal to J will make it lie in the non-zero region for lower triangular matrix, right? Similarly, we can talk of the upper triangular matrix also. Now, in a row mapping, the element L of I comma J, where I is greater than equal to J, is preceded by K equal to 1 to I minus 1 K non-zero region elements that are in rows 1 to, no need to look into details of this. Children, how do we calculate the index number for the 1D array? उसको उसी तरीके से करना है as I told you for the tri-diagonal element. See, if you look at the non-zero region, the first non-zero element that will be transferred to the 1D array will be this 1, 1. Okay, so I'm transferring the non-zero elements to the 1D array. So 1, 1 will be transferred first. Okay, row wise. Next, it is going to be 2, 1, then 2, 2. So you can just put in the values and see. I will show you in the implementation. And similarly, we can do it for the, for the upper triangular also. No need to get into details of this. So if we look at the set function, last time हमने get function करा था. इस particular special matrix में they have shown you set function. Set function means storing into the 1D array, and get function means retrieving from the 1D array. So first of all, validate the index subscript numbers. Then if I is greater than equal to J, if I is greater than equal to J, then we have to write element of I into I minus 1 by 2 plus J minus 1. Now, how do we get this? See, children, if I want to store a particular element, how many elements are preceding before it? The first row is contributing 1. The second row is contributing 2. The third row is contributing 3 to the non-zero region. This you agree? In a lower triangular matrix, तो अगर कोई particular element store करना है तो उससे पहले कितने elements हैं? I into I plus 1 by 2. लेकिन index numbers 1 से 0 से start हो रहे हैं तो उसमें से -1 vary करेंगे. So you are going to get this value plus you are going to add the next, you are going to increment by 1 to get the index number for the next element. ये same lines पे calculate करना है as we have done for the for the tri-diagonal matrix. Else pay, meaning your I is less than J. I is less than J for the zero region in a lower triangular matrix. Okay. So in that case, अगर new value जो तुमने pass करी है वो zero नहीं है, तो you have to throw an exception. Because zero region में तो compulsorily zero होता है. Okay. You have to throw an error. I hope, children, this is clear to everyone. Okay. Now coming to the symmetric matrix. Now symmetric matrix क्या होता है? We'll look into the picture as the name tells you. Symmetric means when you draw the line of symmetry, the both sides towards left and right are the same. They are mirror images of each other. Symmetric matrix में हमारी line of symmetry जो होती है वो main diagonal होता है. So assume that this symmetric matrix is drawn on a paper and you cut the paper along the main diagonal and fold it along your cut. Okay, so what will happen? This 4 will overlap with this. This 9 will come above this 9. This 6 will come above this 6 and so on. So we can say that when our line of symmetry is the main diagonal, we fold the paper along the main diagonal or cut it along the main diagonal. Then the LHS and the RHS of the fold are mirror images of each other. Ab symmetric matrix mein the question arises, do we need to store the entire symmetric matrix in the 1D array? Yes or no, children? Tell me.
No, ma'am.
No, we do not need to store. कितना part store करना पड़ेगा which is unique?
Diagonal, either the upper triangular matrix or either the lower triangular matrix.
Correct. Either the upper triangular matrix or the lower triangular matrix. Okay, so this if you are storing the upper triangular matrix, children, program जो है इसका जो implementation है वो बिल्कुल upper triangular matrix वाले get and store functions use होंगे. And if you are storing it in lower triangular form, तो get and store lower triangular form का use होएगा. That is why in the textbook also they have not shown the implementation or given the implementation of symmetric matrix. They just explain it to you what is a symmetric matrix and that's it. Okay, because it boils down to the triangular matrix only. See, n cross n symmetric matrix जो होता है can be represented using a one-dimensional array of size n into n plus 1 by 2. How? See, if this is my symmetric matrix and I am storing it in lower triangular part. So I am storing this much part only. So first row में 1 element store करना पड़ेगा, second row के 2 elements, third row के 3 and so on, nth row के n elements. So how many elements in total? Obviously sum of first 10 natural numbers. That is why they write n into n plus 1 by 2. ठीक है? By storing either the lower or the upper triangle of the matrix using one of the schemes for a triangle matrix. ठीक है? So the elements that are not explicitly stored may be computed from those that are explicitly stored. For example, if the user wants to retrieve m of 2, 3, this element which is not stored, m of 2, 3, तो आप ये देखिए m of 2, 3 की mirror image कौन होगा? So instead of m of 2, 3, you can return that element and no need to store everything. So for the symmetric matrix, the things and the calculations boil down to lower triangular matrix only or the upper triangular. That is why they have not given the details. I hope, children, this is clear to everyone. The 5 special matrices. And इस चैप्टर में से चिल्ड्रन जो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट 2 चीजें हैं और जो आती हैं एग्जाम में, इनफैक्ट एज अ टीचर आई हैव टेकन अप एवरीथिंग, बट जो एग्जाम में आता है हमेशा और जिसका चांस है वो 2 चीजें हैं. नंबर 1 स्पेशल मैट्रिसेस वाला सेक्शन, नंबर 2 रो मेजर एंड कॉलम मेजर के फॉर्मूले जो अभी आपको कराने हैं, और थर्ड स्पार्स मैट्रिक्स की थोड़ी सी डेफिनेशन. दैट्स इट. So if you are short of time at the end during the exam, you just do these 3 things. And this section 7.4 also is not completely there in the syllabus. Just let me check the guidelines. We have to do only certain pages. Okay. ठीक है. Okay, they say just up to page 2 53 we have to do. So this is page 252. Only 2 pages are to be done for sparse matrices. वही मतलब आपको सिर्फ जो है डेफिनेशन और कंसेप्ट पता होने चाहिए. 254 जिसमें आपकी ये इम्प्लीमेंटेशन स्टार्ट हो रही है ना, क्लास स्पार्स मैट्रिक्स. दिस इज नथिंग टू बी डन फॉर द एग्जाम. Only 2 pages we have to do. Now coming to first of all, what is meant by a sparse matrix? Now, what is meant by the word sparse, children, in English? Can anyone say something? What is meant by the word sparse? See, we talk or we use these two words in English, sparse and dense, in case of population. When we talk of population of any area, we say that this area or this city is sparsely populated. The metro cities are densely populated. ठीक है? तो स्पार्स जहां पर डेंसिटी कम है और डेंस मतलब जहां डेंसिटी ज्यादा है. तो इधर भी वही मतलब है स्पार्स मैट्रिक्स का. स्पार्स मैट्रिक्स का अगर एक रफ मीनिंग बताऊं, लेमैन मीनिंग बताऊं, तो हम ये कह सकते हैं मोस्ट ऑफ द एलिमेंट्स आर जीरो. दिस इज नॉट ए टेक्निकल डेफिनेशन, बट समझाने के लिए आपको मैं बोल सकती हूँ कि स्पार्स मैट्रिक्स जो है वो बड़ी स्पार्सली पॉपुलेटेड होता है. स्पार्सली पॉपुलेटेड मतलब कि उसमें जो ज्यादातर एलिमेंट्स होते हैं वो जीरो होते हैं, और जीरो वाले एलिमेंट्स को तो हमें स्टोर करने की जरूरत नहीं होती है. जो उसमें नॉन जीरो एलिमेंट्स होते हैं वो बहुत कम होते हैं. ठीक है. नाउ द क्वेश्चन अराइजेस कि डायगोनल मैट्रिक्स था, जैसे ट्राई डायगोनल मैट्रिक्स था, वो भी तो स्पार्स मैट्रिक्स थे, बिल्कुल थे, लेकिन वो रेगुलर स्पार्स मैट्रिसेस थे. रेगुलर स्पार्स मैट्रिक्स का मतलब ये है कि जो आपके नॉन जीरो एलिमेंट्स हैं वो कोई पैटर्न फॉलो कर रहे हैं. जिस तरीके से डायगोनल मैट्रिक्स में नॉन जीरो एलिमेंट्स जो है वो सिर्फ डायगोनल पे हो सकते हैं, ट्राई डायगोनल मैट्रिक्स में नॉन जीरो सिर्फ 3 डायगोनल्स पे हो सकते हैं. बट इस सेक्शन में हम रेगुलर स्पार्स मैट्रिक्स की सिर्फ बात ना करके हम इर्रेगुलर स्पार्स मैट्रिक्स की भी बात करेंगे. What is meant by irregular sparse matrix? It means that the sparse matrix में जो non-zero elements है, they are not following any particular order. For example, if I have a 4 cross 4 sparse matrix, I have 45 here, I have 65 here, I have 3 here, and I have -9 here. All other elements are 0. Clearly, children, this is a sparse matrix because most of the elements are 0 and need not be stored. But this is an irregular sparse matrix. Right? तो जो हमारे स्पेशल मैट्रिक्स थे ना, उसमें जो हमने डायगोनल और ट्राई डायगोनल पढ़ा था वो रेगुलर स्पार्स मैट्रिक्स थे. But the sparse matrices can be irregular in shape also. Now the question arises कि हमें लगभग देखने से पता लग रहा है कि डायगोनल और ट्राई डायगोनल मैट्रिक्स जो होते हैं वो तो स्पार्स होते हैं. But what about lower triangular matrix? What about upper triangular matrix? Are they also sparse or not? We have to answer this question in yes or no. Now children, अगर आप लोअर ट्रायंगुलर और अपर ट्रायंगुलर मैट्रिक्स को रिकॉल करेंगे, so what were the number of elements in the non-zero region that we were storing in 1D form? It was n into n plus 1 by 2. And n into n plus 1 by 2 is greater than n square. It is greater than n square by 2. n square जो है टोटल नंबर ऑफ एलिमेंट्स होंगे किसी भी n क्रॉस n मैट्रिक्स में. अगर उस टोटल नंबर n स्क्वायर को हम 2 से डिवाइड कर दें तो हमारे हाफ हो गया. अब n into n plus 1 by 2 वो n square by 2 से बड़ा होता है. वो तो आप अपने माइंड में पिक्चर भी रिकॉल करें लोअर और अपर ट्रायंगुलर की, तो वो डायगोनल एंड बिलो होता है या डायगोनल एंड अबव होता है, तो वो हमारे आधे एलिमेंट से ज्यादा होता है. तो कहने का ये मतलब है कि लोअर ट्रायंगुलर और अपर ट्रायंगुलर में टोटल नंबर ऑफ एलिमेंट्स जो हैं उनके हाफ से भी ज्यादा तो हम स्टोर कर ही रहे हैं. सो कैन वी कॉल देम स्पार्स और नॉट? The answer to this is neither yes or neither no. Why? because it will depend on the implementation, and it varies from textbook to textbook also, but you have to follow your textbook actually. तो कुछ textbooks कहती हैं कि n²/3 कम से कम होने चाहिए, n²/5 कम से कम 0 होने चाहिए या नॉन जीरो whatever. So the answer to this question can be only given when we define a threshold. जैसे टोटल तो मेरे पास n² एलिमेंट्स होते हैं मैट्रिक्स में, मैं कहूंगी कम से कम n²/2 जो है 0 होने चाहिए, तब मेरा मैट्रिक्स स्पार्स है. somebody will say कम से कम n²/3 होने चाहिए, somebody will say n²/2 + 5 at least जो है 0 होनी चाहिए, then only we can call it sparse. So clearly we have to define a threshold. Our answer will now depend on a threshold value that we decide, and then only we can answer this question. Okay, so this informal introduction clear to everyone? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now let us look at the formal discussion now. See, an M cross N matrix is said to be sparse if many of its elements are 0. अब ये many कितना होगा भाई? n²/2, n²/3, what we have to decide. A matrix that is not sparse is obviously dense. The boundary between a dense and a sparse matrix is not precisely defined. जैसा कि मैंने आपको बताया, literature में this boundary, this threshold is not precisely defined. Different researchers, different authors of the textbooks are using a different threshold to decide whether any matrix is sparse or dense. Now, diagonal and tridiagonal n cross n matrices are sparse. भाई उनमें तो आधे से भी ज्यादा एलिमेंट 0 रीजन में होते हैं, तो वो तो सभी के अकॉर्डिंग स्पार्स है. प्रॉब्लम सिर्फ ट्रायंगुलर या लोअर ट्रायंगुलर में आती है. नाउ each has order of n non-zero terms and order of n² 0 terms. Order of n 0 terms तब होंगे children when the number of non-zero terms is a linear function of n. तभी हम बोलेंगे वो order of n है. And order of n² 0 terms कब हम बोल सकते हैं? जब आपके 0 terms जो हैं वो quadratic function of n² है. And it is upper bounded, to be more precise, it is upper bounded by some quadratic function. ठीक है. Now coming to diagonal and non-diagonal. चलो हम diagonal की केस लेते हैं. Suppose this is my diagonal matrix. What is the number of 0 terms children in this? चलो पहले non-zero लेते हैं. What is the number of non-zero terms? Non-zero terms कितने होंगे diagonal matrix में? Total n² minus, अच्छा नॉन जीरो टर्म्स बताना है, सॉरी, नॉन जीरो तो n हो जाएंगे. नॉन जीरो टर्म्स कितने होंगे? जितने डायगोनल पे है n, और जीरो टर्म्स कितने हो जाएंगे डायगोनल मैट्रिक्स में? इट विल बी टोटल नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स दैट इज n² माइनस नॉन जीरो विच इज n. ठीक है, तो आप देख रहे हैं कि नॉन जीरो टर्म्स जो है इट इज n, मतलब लीनियर फंक्शन, और जो जीरो टर्म्स है इट इज n² माइनस n. तो हमें लीडिंग टर्म की डिग्री देखनी है. लीडिंग टर्म इधर n² है. ठीक है, तो जीरो टर्म्स क्वाड्रेटिक है, दैट इज व्हाई दे हैव रिटन नॉन जीरो ऑर्डर ऑफ n एंड जीरो टर्म्स ऑर्डर ऑफ n². सिमिलरली आप ट्राई डायगोनल के लिए भी चेक कर सकते हैं इस तरीके से. नाउ in an n cross n triangular matrix, is it sparse? They have put a question mark. It has at least n into n minus 1/2 zero terms. ये zero terms कैसे आएंगे? Zero terms कैसे आएंगे? टोटल n² है ट्रायंगुलर मैट्रिक्स में, माइनस नॉन जीरो टर्म्स. नॉन जीरो कितने थे? हमने बार बार कैलकुलेट करा है, n into n plus 1/2. So this will give you n into n minus 1/2. ये हमारे जीरो टर्म्स हैं ट्रायंगुलर में. Now coming back to the text, it has at least n into n minus 1/2 zero terms and at most n into n plus 1/2 non-zero terms. ये n into n plus 1/2 non-zero terms. इन्होंने at least और at most word क्यों use करा है? The reason being, जो आपका non-zero region होता है उस पे कोई strict condition नहीं होती, उसमें जीरो या नॉन जीरो दोनों हो सकते हैं. So the non-zero region can also contribute something to total number of zero terms. That is why at least and at most. ठीक है? Now, for the representation scheme in this section to be competitive over the standard two-dimensional array representation, the number of non-zero terms will need to be less than n square by 3 and in some cases n square by 5. ओके, तो इन्होंने जो थ्रेशोल्ड डिफाइन करा है वो n स्क्वायर बाय 3 है आपकी टेक्स्ट बुक में, और ये थ्रेशोल्ड क्या है? नॉन जीरो टर्म्स का। तो मेरे जो नॉन जीरो टर्म्स है दे हैव टू बी लेस देन n स्क्वायर बाय 3. रिमेंबर दिस, द नंबर ऑफ नॉन जीरो टर्म्स हैव टू बी लेस देन n स्क्वायर बाय 3. उसके अकॉर्डिंग अब मेरे ट्रायंगुलर मैट्रिसेस में कितने नॉन जीरो हैं? It is n into n plus 1 by 2, and you can calculate and see n into n plus 1 by 2 is more than n square by 3. n square by 3 तो मतलब आप समझ सकते हैं ना, n square टोटल नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स है, n square by 3 उसका तीसरा हिस्सा 1/3. तो जो नॉन जीरो टर्म्स हैं मेरे थ्रेशोल्ड के अकॉर्डिंग वो 1/3 से कम होने चाहिए. अब भाई ट्रायंगुलर मैट्रिक्स में नॉन जीरो टर्म्स आधे से भी ज्यादा है और हम तो कह रहे हैं कि 1/3 से कम होना चाहिए. तो ऑब्वियसली इस थ्रेशोल्ड के अकॉर्डिंग वी क्लासिफाई ट्रायंगुलर मैट्रिसेस एज डेंस. तो अकॉर्डिंग टू माय थ्रेशोल्ड माय ट्रायंगुलर मैट्रिसेस आर डेंस, माय सिमेट्रिक मैट्रिक्स विल आल्सो बी डेंस, isn't it? And my my tridiagonal and diagonal matrix will be sparse. Has everyone understood this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, in the next example, they talk of, an unstructured or irregular matrix. जैसा कि मैंने आपको बताया, irregular matrix में कोई पैटर्न नहीं होगा. They have given an example. See, this is a 4x8 matrix. ठीक है, इसमें जो है ये irregular sparse है, इधर 2, 7, 1, 3, 8, 4, 5, 6. So this is clearly a sparse matrix. Sparse matrix का हमारा threshold है 1/3 से कम होना चाहिए नॉन जीरो पार्ट. ये 1/3 से कम है क्योंकि 4 8 से 32, टोटल 32 एलिमेंट्स हैं इसमें. ठीक है, एंड हाउ मेनी आर नॉन जीरो? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 एंड 9. ठीक है, करेक्ट. इसका 1/3 जो है 32 का कितना होगा? Right? So it is less than 1/3. So this is clearly a sparse matrix. They also give you an example of, a supermarket. उसमें परचेजेस मैट्रिक्स जो है, जैसे देर आर 1000 कस्टमर्स इन अ डे एंड देर आर 10,000 कमोडिटीज, या इसका वाइस वर्सा, जो 10,000 अगर प्रोडक्ट्स हैं सुपरमार्केट में, सो एवरी कस्टमर इज गोइंग टू बाय 2, 5, 10, 20, 50 प्रोडक्ट्स मैक्सिमम व्हेन ही और शी विजिट्स द सुपरमार्केट. तो अगर हम ऐसे 1000 कस्टमर्स का डेटा प्लॉट करें इन अ मैट्रिक्स फॉर्म, दैट इज 10,000 क्रॉस 1000 मैट्रिक्स बनाए, तो जो मैट्रिक्स बन के आएगा वो स्पार्स मैट्रिक्स होगा और साथ में इर्रेगुलर होगा. क्लियर? नाउ नेक्स्ट इज रिप्रेजेंटेशन यूजिंग ए सिंगल लीनियर लिस्ट. अब हम इर्रेगुलर मैट्रिक्स को कैसे रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे अपने प्रोग्राम में? भाई रेगुलर स्पार्स मैट्रिक्स को तो आपने 1D एरे में रिप्रेजेंट कर दिया और साथ में आपने फॉर्मूला यूज कर दिया, जैसे हमने कैलकुलेट करे थे रिटर्न आई ऑफ return of 2i minus 2 and so on. Irregular matrix में ये नहीं चल सकता because it is not following a particular pattern. तो कैसे स्टोरेज या गेट रिट्रीव फंक्शन हम कर सकते हैं? आप देखिए इसकी लीनियर लिस्ट रिप्रेजेंटेशन देखिए इर्रेगुलर स्पार्स मैट्रिक्स की. जैसे मुझे 2 स्टोर करना है, मुझे 1 स्टोर करना है, सारी नॉन जीरो वैल्यूज, तो आपको इस तरीके की रिप्रेजेंटेशन बनानी पड़ेगी. जैसे वैल्यू 2 है सबसे पहले, ठीक है, तो इसका रो नंबर एंड कॉलम नंबर नंबर 1 and 4 भी आपको स्टोर करना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज व्हाट इज 2 इसके सब्सक्रिप्ट्स है 1,4. ठीक है, तो 0th टर्म, फर्स्ट टर्म, सेकेंड टर्म, थर्ड टर्म, फोर्थ टर्म एंड सो ऑन. तो जो मेरा 1D एरे बनेगा, 1D एरे का हर सेल के इंटरनली 3 पार्ट्स होंगे. तो एवरी सेल ऑफ माय 1D एरे will be a structure in itself consisting of 3 parts. ठीक है, first will be the row number 1, then the column number 4 and then the value 2. Is it clear? So you can see next जो non-zero element है वो 1 है. इसका row number कितना है? 1 and column number is 7. So 1, 7 and 1 towards right side. So a sparse matrix and its linear list representation provided it is an irregular sparse matrix. Is it clear, girls? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so they have just explained here, no need to read. The above diagram was self-explanatory. After that, they have calculated the amount of memory required. जैसे अगर हम परचेज मैट्रिक्स की बात करें, जो अभी हमने ऊपर एग्जाम्पल पढ़ा था चिल्ड्रन, अगर परचेज मैट्रिक्स को आप पूरा स्टोर करो क्योंकि वो इरेगुलर है, तो कितनी अमाउंट ऑफ मेमोरी लगेगी? और अगर 1D एरे में जैसे अभी एग्जांपल में मैंने दिखाया स्टोर करो तो कितनी लगेगी? लाइक इनटू 4 इफ एवरी इंटीजर इज ऑक्यूपाइंग 4 बाइट्स. सो यू सी, जो हमारा एग्जांपल उन्होंने परचेज दिया है उसमें 2,40,000 बाइट्स चाहिए. ठीक है, for 1,000 customers and 10,000 products in a day. एग्जाम्पल उन्होंने लिया है. लेकिन अगर आप पूरा स्टोर करो तब कितना लगेगा? Okay, it is, you can see this amount, this is 4 crore bytes. So a saving, the space saving is about these many bytes, and this amount is quite long, correct? Quite big, this saving. So you can look at this simple example, and after that, children, from page 254, we do not have to do this part. Okay, so in this topic, we are just left with the row and column मेजर वाले फॉर्मूले विच आई हैड लेफ्ट बिकॉज प्रैक्टिकल में पहले मुझे कुछ कराना था आपको, सो दैट यू आर नॉट फ्री ड्यूरिंग द प्रैक्टिकल्स. सो इट विल टेक मैक्सिमम 25 minutes, half an hour in the next lecture to complete this complete topic. I hope, children, it is clear to everyone. Okay, thanks to all of you. You all can sign up now.
Thank you, ma'am.